Ciaran, just give us a sense of what it's been like just getting into the camp and I suppose just like the mood around the place ahead of it.
Yeah, this is my third camp now, so I was in this time last year for the first time, so it's good to be back, seeing the lads again. We had that bit of crack over in New Zealand and it was a brilliant tour, so good to reconnect with them lads. And yeah, we came off the back of an interprovincial game, so it's good to see how they are after that.
What about your own performance, I guess, since then, like the summer in particular, it went so well for you. Like, what's been the feedback for you from the coaching staff about where you can go from here?
Yeah, it's just really like kicking on, and in like there's a lot of big games to come, but yeah, I was happy how them games went over in New Zealand. I know it was 2 Mara games. The first one probably weren't at our best, and then it was good to turn the page quickly and get the win against the Maoris in the second game, and ultimately capped the test off at 3-2 final score. So for me, coming back was just pretty much getting as much game time as I could, and unfortunately I picked up a few niggles at the start of the season against Benetton, and it kind of hampered me. I didn't get to play the Ulster the Sharks game. I missed the emerging tour with Ireland, but it's good to be back now. I got 60 minutes against Munster, so happy to crack on.
Playing in multiple positions as well. You know,
Yeah.
lots of people have sort of joked about the Swiss Army Frawley and whatever. Where do you, like, does it matter where you play, just get into the team, or are you trying to show them you can do anything?
It's kind of the best of both worlds, really, isn't it? Like, it's nice to have a position, but also in the back of your mind, you have a World Cup coming up, and the versatility card can always benefit you in terms of selection for that. So, look, I can't be, I suppose, is it too greedy the word, but I'm happy to play minutes, and that's the main thing for me at the moment. I haven't played a lot this season so far, so it's just about getting the minutes, whether that be at 10, 12 or 15, which have been the 3 positions I've been playing over the last season or 2.
Nice.
No problem.
Having been involved in multiple camps at this stage, how eager are you to get out on the pitch and get that first cap?
Yeah, like we were only watching a video this morning of our time over in New Zealand, and just pretty much all the special moments we had off the pitch after the tests and stuff like that. And I suppose when you're part of it and you're playing the test and win the series, it's incredible, and just gives you that bit of hunger to want to be a part of it. I know obviously we played in 2 Mara games, but the test games are the big ones that you want to throw the jersey on for. So hopefully this time around, third time lucky, we might throw on the jersey for a test game.
How do you deal with the hype and expectation? Because like there are plenty of people around who see you as being the heir to Johnny Sexton in an Ireland #10 shirt. Is that something you're aware of? How do you deal with that?
To be honest, it's my mates that fill my head with it. I try to stay away from social media as much as I could, but yeah, they inform me enough, and why aren't you playing 10, blah de blahs. Look, I'm just trying to play as many minutes as I can. So yeah, again, it comes back to what position do I think I'm playing. I should play. I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to really figure it out. But it's good to be getting the experience in multiple positions, and they'll hopefully, if it comes down to nailing one position, it'll help me in terms of understanding what you want from a 15 or a 12 or a 10. You know.
Can you tell us a bit about your relationship with Johnny in terms of learning from him and playing pitch and kind of working with him?
Yeah, like Johnny's unreal to have him. Like, we're so lucky to have him in Leinster and here. Speaking for all the lads, without knowing it, we're actually learning a lot off him. You can see a lot of the way lads are playing is very similar to Johnny, and picking up little things like it could be just holding the ball at the line that last second that he does so well. But then he'll also give you a lot of, it'd be constructive criticism almost, that like he'll want to get the best out of you. And I think when lads are playing with Johnny, they always bring their game to the next level, because like they understand what they're playing with, the standard they're playing with as well, you know. So yeah, he's brilliant to have.
How did you find playing fullback at the weekend?
Yeah, at the start of the week, found out there was a few lads laughing, and a few second rows thinking I was coming for their position next. But yeah, it was enjoyable. Like, it's again for me, like this season, before that Munster game, I played a bit off the bench for Zebre, about 15 minutes, then 45 minutes against Treviso. So to play in that Munster game was we can get 60 minutes was really good, and whether that had been at 15, 12 or 10, like that was the biggest point for me, was just making sure I got the minutes.
Because obviously you feel that carrying knocks in camp, how confident would you feel if Andy needed you to do a job at 15 next week?
At 15? Yeah, like again, it's just covering your detail and picking it up as quick as you can, because it's a new system. There's new calls, new structure. So at the moment today, it's very detail driven. Tomorrow's the same, and then towards the tail end of the week, we'll look at ramping it up. But once you cover your detail, and I played 15 with Leinster, I played a good bit with the A's there, so I'd be comfortable to slot in. You know, it's just covering all that detail really.
And just you mentioned you watched a video of the New Zealand tour this morning. Can you just give us a bit more detail on that?
Yeah, so it was pretty much just after, it was a few like tries and whatever, and big moments throughout the first, second test, and then leading into the celebrations on the pitch after the third test. All the feelings going throughout the squad, the emotions were high, and kind of goosebumps stuff watching it back. So I'd say for the lads it was incredible. Like, even being over there, it was an unbelievable experience. But being a part of playing and being a part of a winning series squad is what I'm looking to get after and try and get that first cap.
Ciaran, is it just in your own head, tactically, is it better that you play in positions to go into a World Cup environment where you're probably more useful to a squad in that situation? Or do you think of it like that?
Well, yeah, I suppose for the coaches, it'll always be a good thing if they can have a guy that's versatile or whatever. But yeah, as I said, at some stage you'll want to maybe knuckle down on the one position. But for the time being, I'm just enjoying playing rugby and getting as many minutes. And then if that's at 15 or whatever.
If you go to a World Cup and you're picked to play, what number would you prefer to be?
I have to get my first cap here first. Yeah. So, to be honest, I won't be looking that far ahead. But yeah, just do my best to get this. Whether it's playing the New Zealand A game and go from there, play well in that, then look at hopefully one of the games, Fiji or Australia, if the body's feeling good, and then back to Leinster. You have big games with them in the European Cup, and then there's also Six Nations before that World Cup, so there's a lot of big games coming up, so it'd be hard to pinpoint one position really.
Okay, good footwork. Let's finish with
Ciaran, was there a coach that maybe influenced your decision to be that first scout, or was it always in your own head to play many positions, or did someone say to you, look, I think this would be good for your career if you could play?
No coach really ever said it to me, but I suppose when coaches look at the players they have, they can see what they have and what can fit for the squad. So it was actually just before COVID, I'd played all 10 with Leinster, and then when I came back after COVID, England played the style with Ford and Farrell, and we tested it out with Leinster a bit, and then they liked how it operated, and I played a bit of 15 with the A's, so it all just kind of came after COVID really, and it's obviously good to be versatile, but yeah, in terms of a coach, I wouldn't say there was any coach that really said it to me or whatever, but as well, playing football when you're younger helps you to kind of jump in and out of them positions.
And at the moment in camp, there's the first team and then the A team, so do you feel that fierce competition for places now? It's a little bit different.
Yeah, there's a few of the A lads that still have to come in, so there's a 37-man squad at the moment, yeah. And then I think there's going to be about 50 of us next week, so you can feel it already, but even next week when the lads come in, it'll be even more heated. So yeah, it's good for the squad though. Competition's what you need to make a good squad.
okay. So
Andy, can you give us a sense of who's fit, who's not fit? There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but anyway, in general, the feeling is amongst the medical staff that people are progressing really well. Most people should be back sometime this week, if not the end of the week, and then there's a couple that we'll keep assessing throughout. So decent enough news actually coming in last night, and medical checks this morning, so not a bad place to be.
Who are your biggest fears over at the moment of those kind of long-term ones who maybe they might just run out of their time?
Well, no, I don't think anyone's in that type of bracket. But having said that, where we're at as far as rehabilitation is concerned, like some people are just getting back running now. So as you go through different stages, people could break down, and you know there's one or two or three of those in that type of bracket that we don't know about. But nobody's ruled out at this stage.
Would there be players like James Lowe and Hugo Keane who haven't played yet this season? Would you be willing to risk them against South Africa?
Well, from what I'm told, that James won't be available, so that's that. Hugo, I'm told, will be available. He's going to be training with us this week. You know, we're gradually building the weekend anyway as we go. So Thursday, Friday is going to be a big couple of days for a few of the players. But answer to your question, we'll just wait and see. We'll just wait and see. There's some people that can handle those type of situations better than others.
Last question from me then. Obviously a huge weekend of Interpros as well this weekend, Munster and Ulster in particular. For those 8 players, they're obviously being released back to their clubs. Are any of the other players likely to be released to be able to play with their clubs this weekend?
No.
Cool. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks.
And I suppose just one of the headline pieces of the positive news this morning was on Joey. Just a word on how good it is to have him declared fit at this stage.
Well, just so we can get back up and running and train as a team and have him barking orders. That's what a general always does, you know. So for him to have that peace of mind to get back up and running himself is pretty reassuring for everyone else.
And just on those kind of longer term injuries, you touched on it there, but the likes of Peter and Tyke at this stage, would you be confident they'll make that first game against Africa?
Yeah, confident. But as I said, there's certain stages that they'll have to get through. But they've pulled up in not too bad shape, and they'll go through a process, and we'll see how they are at the beginning of next week.
And just in terms of the 3-match series, what are you looking for apart from 3 wins and 3 games?
Like always, improvement. There's so much improving that we wanna prove to ourselves first and foremost that we can do, and so it's great to be back in after watching the URC for a good few weeks now. It's great to be back in and have this week to get back up and running and prepare properly and hopefully dust ourselves down and understand where we're trying to go with our game and where we're trying to push on, because we've prided ourselves on trying to get up to speed as soon as we possibly can, and that's as we all know is the art of international rugby, because nobody really cares whether you've got 5 days of preparation or 6 months of preparation. So to get back up to speed for that first game and be at our best is where we want to be, and I think we all know it's where we have to be coming up against a good team like South Africa.
Thanks, mate.
I'm Ashling from Buffalo. How are you?
Great, thanks.
Just on the squad itself, there's 6 uncapped players, so I'm sure it was a tough decision for you to pull the squad together.
Oh, it's great. I mean, we know that there are some injuries knocking around, but that's to be shaped in any type of competition, including the World Cup. In the future, this is what we're going to be up against. So, giving opportunities to other people and being able to try out different combinations, we'll see how that flourishes or not in the next week or so. But there's one guy, Nashi, who's in for the first time. He did so well on the Emerging Ireland tour. He's in for the first time. He's earned the right to be in as well. There's an opportunity for him, but there are 6 guys there that are trying to battle it out and prove to not just me but to the rest of the teammates that they deserve a first cap. So that's pretty special. And then on top of that, you've got Connor. That's one away from the 100. So there's some nice milestones for people to reach out to.
And you have the first team and then you have the A team as well. So for you personally, what was the main reason for having those 2 teams?
Opportunity, finding opportunities for people and finding out. I've constantly said over the last few years, that competition has to be all of our best friends. And I said to the players exactly that this morning again when the other lads come in, the 12 extras are coming for the air game next week. There'll be 47 to 50 players in the room, and have a look around, because you're all going to be competing against each other over the next 12 months, certainly, and you've got to embrace that and rise to that and be the best teammate that you could possibly be within that type of situation as well. So we we created opportunities there in New Zealand with the A game, with the Maori game, sorry. But I mean, what does that stand for? That type of experience if you don't back it up, you know. So we've got to find ways of backing it up, and the A game is a fantastic opportunity for people to show that they're able to perform at this level, because that 100% is going to be a massive step up from the Maori games in themselves, and then we'll see how the land lies after that, you know, because again, people are fighting for a test spot. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it, you know, that we go from the 2 Maori games to the A game, you know, and the emerging island stuff, you know, it's the non-cap games as such, you know, so people are desperate to play for Ireland, but like all things, you've got to earn the right to be able to do that.
And another exciting player is Jacob Stockdale. He's in for the first time since July 21.
Yeah, I'm delighted to see him back in the room. He obviously had a very tough time of it last year, but he's shown resilience, and I was really impressed with how he started the season. I thought he really showed at the start of the season what he was trying to achieve and where he was trying to get to. Unfortunately, he got injured again over the last couple of weeks, but I thought he started back really strong, determined. I thought he looked strong in contact, etc., and you could see that hunger back in him.
Thanks, Andy.
Andy, how comfortable would you be selecting guys to play against Africa when they've only had limited minutes this season, or in some cases no game time since New Zealand? Is there a bit of risk involved in asking guys to make such a big step up?
Well, what do you suggest we do otherwise?
You've options.
Yeah, but some players don't need that much game time. Some players are able to just hit it straight from the word go. You know, some players need 5 or 6 games to hit the ground running. So it's up to us to assess that. But you know, we're not a massive playing pool as well. You know, so it needs must at times as well.
How good is it to have a different challenge when it comes to South Africa? Because obviously, you know, the Six Nations regulars and 4 matches in the last year against New Zealand, but South Africa are a very different type of team.
Yeah, they've got a unique way of playing, and they're all on the same page, and that's their strength, isn't it? You know, they know their points of difference and they go after it hard, and they've been very successful in being able to do that. So obviously, being aware of what South Africa are about is absolutely key, because we need to know what they're trying to achieve, but at the same time, how we progress our own game is just as, if not more important. You know, I think probably if you want to compare it to what we've faced over the shortest period of time, was probably the French away game. You know, big set who go after you properly in defence and set pieces. Obviously, a main part of their game, play a good territory type strangling game and a pressure type game. So obviously that didn't work out too well for us in the end. So we need to show progression from that. And is there, besides playing each other in the World Cup next year, any danger there's going to be a bit of shadow boxing between the two sides? There's a long time between drinks as far as that's concerned. I suppose concentrating on the here and now is what we're after. You know, we're after progressing our game like we always are in any competition, and then seeing how the land lies after this and going into what's going to be an unbelievably competitive Six Nations.